shall we get into the live action panel? First thing I think they did was they talked about the end of Phase 4 and the beginning of Phase 5, right? And so I believe Wakanda Forever ends Phase 4. Quantumania begins Phase 5. Chat, check me on that. I believe that's what they said, right? That's how it's going down. Now, that's kind of interesting to me because I personally thought maybe Phase 4 would last for a long time and they'd have even more content in there, right? But it kind of seems like they're like, nope, that's Phase 4, moving right along. Here's Phase 5, boop, moving right along. Here's Phase 6. I guess it's a good way to sort of like put an end cap on Phase 4 and be like, okay, well, that's what it was. Now let's just move on to the next one, right? And just kind of do Phase 5 as its whole thing. And then you go kind of into Phase 6. And I think it's kind of wild that the Fantastic Four are in Phase 6. But I think from a branding perspective, and especially because like everything's accelerating, right? Feige was asked about how massive Phase 4 is and just the ability to make all this content with movies and shows. It's over like 50 hours of content, which I think is like pretty close to the total of the entire Infinity Saga when you add it up, right? And so like things are obviously accelerating, but I actually kind of liked his answer where he said, look, we can't do an end cap Avengers movie every 10 months, even though that's kind of equivalent to the amount of projects that we were doing before when we would have a big event movie. And so now we will do end caps and big, like impactful massive event films at the end of each saga. And it seems like the sagas are going to now be about 3 phases apiece. And so you go from Phase 4 right into Phase 5, right into Phase 6. And Phase 6 will obviously have a lot of projects, I think, that directly tie into, Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty and stuff like that. So I think that this is good because it does set expectations and allow our brains to kind of wrap our heads around the new way of things, right? So if you don't like a particular phase, it's probably not going to be there all that long. You'll bump into something new, and you can kind of frame that phase, and then there'll probably be this sort of fan discussion that happens where a lot of fans will be like, yeah, dude, Phase 4 is pretty weak. And then there'll be people that say, I actually really like Phase 4. Here's all the things I really like about it. And people will be like, nah, dude, Phase 5's where it's at. Like, this shit's crazy, blah, 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 blah. And so I think that's actually good because it kind of allows for this like almost branded bifurcation that could be useful for how we digest this content, right? And so I think this actually allows for a lot of the sort of ancillary stuff, the stuff that's not super important, to be digestible and not worry us because we know where it is going.